I didn't know you were such a slacker. Come on, let's get moving. We're not frozen in place after all.
Squall and Fury!
Hey, little birdie, don't feel down. Come and perch on my shoulder. Don't be shy. I'll show you around town. Really? No wonder they never pay attention to me. Forget it. I probably shouldn't be anthropomorphizing them anyway. Haven't seen you in some time. To which one of the Animo Archon's winds do I owe the honor? Oh, is this your way of saying that you missed me? Since it wasn't meant to be with this little birdie, I'd better leave it alone. Let's take a walk, shall we? If you're wondering why I'm here, Jean's been worrying about trade safety recently. I discovered this when I unwittingly burst into her office to save the day. Another job involving long-distance travel falls to me. I suppose it's my own fault for having such a strong sense of duty. Still, on the bright side, business is now taken care of. And I have unused travel funds, so I was planning to...
Gundafar, we are in the middle of a war. Your place is at the front lines by my son's side. Pray tell, what provokes your unwarranted return to the palace?
A matter of utmost importance, Your Majesty, such that I must personally report it to you.
Huh. Outdoor theater. Looks fun. Actually, yes. They were desert dwellers. So are these actors. Come on, let's go watch.
Talk to the bartender if you want to.
Your Majesty, not only has God bestowed the throne upon you, but your beloved son, Prince Thrashyav's brazen ambition is no more. My king, this battle has finally restored the dignity of our people. His Highness the Prince and I believe this peace settlement will be a great boon to our nation.
It's the tale of Prince Kubad. Ever heard this one? Don't worry, I still remember the general plot. The main characters are the brilliant Prince Kubad and his war-hungry father, King Kabus. The one talking to the king right now is Gundafar, the prince's tutor. When the prince was young, the king was deceived by a malicious rumor that the prince had mistreated his stepmother. He demanded that the prince walk through a blazing fire to prove his innocence. Miraculously, the prince emerged unscathed, thus proving his innocence. But the seeds of doubt had already been sown in the king's mind. Now uneasy in the presence of his mistrustful father, the prince requested to be sent away to the battlefield where he would fight against Frasyev's army. That's the enemy general we heard them mention just now. This is the part where the prince has won the war and decided to forge a peace with the rival nation. He wrote a letter recommending peace to his father. Oh, it looks like the king's made up his mind. Let's keep watching.
Frossyov lost because he did not have the blessing of God. Our God will always watch over us and punish our enemies. Once the bells of war have begun to toll, they shall not cease until the blood of our enemies fills the land. If Kubad still wishes to be my son and hold the intaglio,
Your Majesty, I must caution that a nation destroyed is not a fallen city writ large. Now, if, however, we insist on bringing a whole nation to its knees, then so long as a single person is left standing, my king, a people is to their nation as wild grass to the open prairie. Though we burn down the whole field and spare not one blade of grass, roots continue to grow unseen beneath the surface.
cease, Gundafar. Your mind grows dull in your old age, filled with naive delusions. We shall have no more need of you on the battlefield. As for my son Kubad, I will summon him back to the capital, so he may be tried by a court-martial.
What are you saying, my noble king? Why must you mistrust your own flesh and blood and sink ever deeper into the blight of hatred? When he was falsely accused, you once doubted his honor and made him walk through a raging fire. Did he not prove himself worthy by emerging unharmed from the flames? Now you would turn me away when I seek only to provide the wisdom of counsel. What?
The justification is that my word, not yours, is the law of the land. Cease and be gone, Gundafar, so you may spend the rest of your days with your wife.
What has become of the king that I served with my life? Fanaticism has robbed him of all reason and wisdom. Peace is surely the most favorable path for our nation, yet he refuses to accept it.
I must think of a way to seize control of the army back from the hands of my wayward son, that they might continue the fight to the end. Perhaps the first task should be this. I shall send a loyal contingent of warriors to eliminate Frossyov, and...
Brilliant acting, Darbil.
I saw you approaching us in the middle of the scene. I was worried that my performance would be subpar and you'd think I was just making a fool of myself.
Not at all. Far from it. Actually, let me introduce you. This is Darbil, the actor for King Caboose. When we first got to know each other, he was still a guard for one of the merchant caravans. Seems like he's now made the switch to full-time acting.
Nice to meet you. Any friend of Kaeya's is a friend of mine. To be perfectly honest, I wasn't making all that much as a mercenary. It felt right to me to get away from the danger and live a more stable life. I was already pretty good at telling stories, so I just recruited a few friends and started performing shows all over the country. Full disclosure, we had to put this little stage together using whatever wood and cloth we could borrow. It's really low budget. Anyway, we're all good enough at acting to get through the motions, but none of us are any good at coming up with a script. Everything we tried to write just sounded off somehow. So I got a student from the academia to adapt an old story I knew to make it more appealing to our...
I could tell that you've had someone tighten up the lines. They turned out very nicely.
That's good. Well, as you can see, even now, we still don't have much of an audience. Don't suppose you'd be interested to see the rest of the show?
Sure, why not? I don't have anything pressing lined up. And I don't think the Traveler does either. Tickets for 2, please. How much would that be?
There's no need for tickets. You could just get some food from Jafar Tavern. We've actually found a sponsor for this performance, too. He's not too happy about the poor turnout, though. I doubt we'll be able to keep him for the next performance. A real pity.
Darbil Asgar still hasn't shown up for the next scene. We should get his costume and sword out so they'll be ready to go the moment he gets here.
My apologies. I have to get ready for the upcoming scene.
Would you two like to order some food? What can I get you? If you're looking for recommendations, today's special is the tandoori roast chicken.
Ah, bear with us a moment. We're just going to take a look at the menu. I was at Port Ormos discussing some business opportunities, and some crook was trying to pull a fast one on me. Darbil took pity on me and politely asked him to make himself scarce. He's a good guy. A decent storyteller, too. Quite an interesting character. There's a lot of fun to be had if you hang around interesting people doing interesting things. Especially if you're in the company of an interesting friend. That's my secret formula for staying in a good mood. Try it out sometime. You'll see what I mean. Thanks for waiting. We're ready to order now. We'll take you up on that tandoori roast chicken. And let's throw in some desserts, too. We've got good seats, close to the stage, but also not too crowded. We can watch the show as we eat. If I remember correctly, the next scene should focus on the prince. But I won't spoil it for you. You have to experience it for yourself. I don't tend to judge a story's worth by my personal affinity for it. But if you want to know my opinion, I'd say it's a fine tale, with a classical flavor that makes it a story for the ages. History always repeats itself. When you keep this in mind and watch out for the echoes of past events in the present, things that appear unfathomable at first glance become much easier to comprehend.
Here you are. The check's on the table, too. Just call me over when you're ready to settle up.
No need. I'll pay up front. Here. Keep the change.
Thank you, sir. Oh, but this is too generous.
Call it a token of my gratitude for the excellent service. The food all smells wonderful, too.
Thank you so much, sir.
Let's dig in, traveler.
Hey, Kaeya. I'm so sorry, but the actor who plays the prince has run into some difficulties and won't be able to make it. We can't do the rest of the show without him, so I'm really, really sorry, but we'll have to call the show right here.
Ooh, that would be fun. I wouldn't say no. Darbil, would you lose any income if I were to mess this up?
Not really. I mean, there's not much of an audience here anyway. I wouldn't want to take too much of your time, though.
Don't worry about that. I like to be spontaneous now and then. Spice things up a little.
Let me think. Well, you already know the story, so you just need to memorize a few lines. Ha! You know what? This might actually work. Wait, but Kubad has a specific costume he's supposed to wear, and there's no way you'd fit into it. Switching actors is one thing, but wearing street clothes on stage would really ruin the immersion. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work.
Well, good thing that I've actually got a costume with me.
You're kidding. Can you show it to me?
Sure. If you can show me the way to your changing room?
It's in the restaurant. Follow me.
Gotta say, I think I actually look pretty dapper in this. It's a pity I don't have many opportunities to wear it in public. Uh-oh, not a fan of me as a prince? I'll have to act my heart out so you'll be too dazzled to make any digs.
Kaeya, here's your script for the next scene. It's not too long, but you also don't...
Only one way to find out.
Okay, I think we've covered all your lines and movements on stage. You haven't had long to prepare, so don't worry about forgetting your lines.
All right, I'm good to go.
Great. Then let's get this show on the road.
General Kubad, son of Kabus, the fate of this battle is clear. I beg you, please spare my few remaining men. They no longer have the strength to fight back.
Frasyav, though you now lead only the husk of a once mighty army, I have no desire to crush your dignity. Even your most savage warriors have no desire to see further bloodshed, and none among your ranks have opposed these peace talks. Nevertheless, I must hear it from you one final time. General Frasyav, do you agree to sign a treaty in good faith and commit from this day forth to peace between our nations?
With my army in ruins, I am in no position to do otherwise. But on this, I give you my word. Yes, let us end our hostilities and send our surviving men home to their families.
We share the desire to lay down our arms for good and liberate our hearts from the dirge of hatred. Then as God above is our witness, by the authority vested in me by this intaglio of King Kabus, I hereby declare that I will spare your hostages and what remains of your army. May peace be restored to this land. My tutor, Gundafar, has already made haste to my father, the king, with the recommendation of a truce.
Prince Kubad, your name is renowned throughout your land and ours.
One will find on a battlefield no master of ceremonies, nor the paper on which a treaty may be signed. In their absence, let us raise our weapons and swear an oath. I, Kubad, son of Kabus, hereby pledge protection to you and all of your kin. May the oceans be stained red with my blood if I am ever to renounce this oath.
Wow, your friend is so dreamy. He's not a real prince by any chance, is he? Hey, Rashana, you don't want to miss this. The good-looking guy who left that huge tip is acting on stage with Darbel's troupe.
Darbel's one lucky man.
I return, Your Highness. I hope I'm not too late. Have you already promised peace to Frasyav?
Nay, I am not so rash as to preempt my father's blessing.
My child, I must share with you the gravest news. Kabus has become blinded by fanaticism and hatred.
How can this be? You mean to say that my father has rejected our proposal for peace?
He has indeed. I urged him to reconsider, and for this I was rebuked and dismissed from his service. But far stricter punishment than this awaits you, should you return home with your troops. Please heed my warnings, dear child. I dare not imagine what unspeakable atrocities your father intends to commit.
Nay, the truce must stand. I cannot renounce my oath. How can man claim to stand above beast without remaining true to his word? The masses have grown weary of death and conflict in both our nation and theirs. Are we all now to bend to his will? When I departed my beloved home to fight in a foreign land, I did so to honor his wishes and for my duty to our people. Alas, is this fate's grand design? Is this fate's grand design?
Kaeya, the next line is, "Alas, is this fate's grand design, that I should spend the rest of my days in a foreign land, till I am laid to rest in a grave far from home?"
Must it be so?
Huh? Wait, that's not part of the script. Kaeya, did you not hear me?
My dear audience, I ask you this. Do you believe in fate? If fate decreed that your life was to end in tragedy, what would you do? Oh? Then so must it be. Yes, so must it be. I shall discard this intaglio and rid myself of the shackles of fate.
Wait, but that's not... My dear prince, do you intend to betray your father and abandon your heritage?
Fate means to send the machinations of war to every corner of the land, to fan the flames of conflict till they engulf the entire world. Fate would see my sword tainted with the blood of innocence, but I shall not bow to the will of fate. I am no pawn in heaven's plan.
Bravo! Where did this guy come from?
Shut up. Stop interrupting.
I, Kubad, will spend the rest of my days in a foreign land till I breathe my last in a place far from home.
Oh, at least he brought it back in the end.
Prince Kubad, my child, there is no need to be rash. Please bring it.
Gundafar, my dear mentor, you have always been like a father to me. It brings me only anguish to bid you farewell. But I must walk this path, or freedom dies by my hand.
Goodbye, my child.
Let me see is what we've got.
Ooh, it's Prince Kubad. Could I please get your autograph?
Why, certainly, ma'am.
Ooh, thank you. I'll just go find a pen.
Just an autograph? Well, you can get one of those at any time. Acting is quite fun. If there ever came a day when I left the Knights of Favonius, I think I might go into acting full-time.
Darbil, could you introduce me to this young man?
Ah, my apologies, Master Toos. I somehow missed you in the crowd earlier.
I was some distance away. I just came over near the end after I noticed a large crowd gathered around the stage. The performance was outstanding across the board. I knew that the poor turnout over the past few days was just bad luck. It was only ever a matter of time before you hit it big. The improvised section was particularly good. I think you could include some improvisation as a
Thank you, sir. And a big thanks also to our wonderful prince. Had Kaeya not agreed to fill in...
Kaeya, was it? Well, young man, I must say you've made quite the impression on me.
Thank you for the invite, sir, but I'm afraid I've reached the end of my time in Sumeru. I'm sure that my friends and family in Mondstadt must be missing me terribly.
Well then, consider it an open invitation. Once you've been bitten by the travel bug, my friend, my door is always open. If you're ever interested, please ask Darbil. We can continue discussions on the sponsorship once you've wrapped up today's show.
Thank you so much, Master Toos. I'll see you shortly. Seriously, Kaeya, thank you for bailing me out again. You know, you should stay for a few more days.
Darbil, Asgar is back. He lost track of time playing Genius Invocation TCG. You've got
Genius Invocation again? Ah, that does it. That kid's not getting away with it this time.
Sure, there's no rush. Okay, I think they're all gone. Let's slip away now while we can. All right, this should be far enough. Don't think they'll find me here. People were starting to expect a lot of things that I didn't sign up for. Besides, I don't mind socializing, but compared to chatting over food and drink, I much prefer just going. What about you? Did you enjoy the show? Oh? I was expecting a lengthier critique, but you've thrown the question right back at me. Sneaky. All right, I'll rise to your challenge. Let me think. All the world's a stage, and all the people merely players. Perhaps there's an inept god out there deciding everyone's fates, much like the academia student drafting Darbil's scripts. Yeah, inept is a good word for it. Honestly, it might even be a little too civil to describe a god. Anyway, that's exactly why actors need to wake up and realize they don't have to follow the script. There's nothing to stop them from following their Oh, my dear traveler, please don't take me too literally. I don't want you to get the wrong idea. The god is just a figure of speech. The real point I'm making is about the actors. Everyone, you and I included, is both an actor and a member of the audience. If you don't like the script, just walk off the stage and join the audience. You always have a choice. A little too obtuse? Well, don't dwell on it. It's nothing worth losing sleep over. I was just thinking aloud. Relax, be yourself, do your thing. That's all I'm really trying to say. When I did my little bit of audience interaction back there, you had no time to prepare. You had to just say what you thought in the moment. I think those spontaneous thoughts are often the most authentic. And that's why I liked your answer. You're still holding on to the intaglio I threw you from the stage, right? Keep it. Think of it as a souvenir from my improvised performance. It's been the most fascinating day, hasn't it, little birdie? What's the hurry?
Gundafar, we are in the middle of a war. Your place is at the front lines by my son's side. Pray tell, what provokes your unwarranted return to the palace?
A matter of utmost importance, Your Majesty, such that I must personally report it to you.
Huh. Outdoor theater. Looks fun. Ah, yes. Here's what I was thinking about the unused funds. Given that the acting Grand Masters saw fit to allocate these funds to my trip in the first place, I think it's my responsibility to make sure that every last mora is put to good use. In other words, what do you say we find a way to spend the remaining budget? Perhaps a fancy meal at a nice restaurant? Or a river cruise that takes in the sights of Sumeru City? Or we could buy a few nice mementos to take home. Hey, no need to put it like that. Let's keep walking. We can consider it some more on the road. The rules of the Knights of Favonius state that any and all expenditures during a business trip
It's best if you don't stare at the sea.
All smugglers were brought to the core.
That's enough work for today.
Of course, with me being here on my own, it was looking like a wasted opportunity. But now that I've run into you, why don't we make this a joint trip? You're always so busy. It's high time you gave yourself a proper break. And anyway, life is short, so we should make the most of the time we have. Right now is the perfect time to relax and enjoy ourselves. And who knows how many other chances we'll get. Great. Music to my ears. I'll cover the travel costs, of course. There's nothing more enjoyable than the company of a good friend. Let's call this a nice little excursion to round off my long business trip. Now, let me think where we should go. I've seen a lot of Sumeru already, so let's go for someplace new. How about Liyue? I'd be heading past there on my way back to Mondstadt anyway. Well, lucky me. I'll hold you to that. Liyue's Ministry of Civil Affairs frequently corresponds with the Knights of Favonius, so the address on their letterhead is one of the few places I'm familiar with. I don't have much luggage, so it won't take me long to pack. Give me a moment, and then... I've heard that there's lots to see and do in Liyue, but I'm sure you're more familiar with the place than I am, so I'll leave the itinerary to you. Excellent. Well, hopefully I'll get to know some of these friends for myself. It's such a satisfying feeling to just drop everything, go on a long trip, and see something new. Who knows who we might cross paths with? We might even end up going on an impromptu adventure. Just like how I met you in Port Ormos, and now we're here. Come on, let's see what's up ahead. Search. Do you know this shop? It looks pretty nice from the outside. Shall we take a look?
Welcome to Mingxing Jewelry. We are a long-established trader of precious stones.
Let me see. Ah, some nice jewelry you've got here. Maybe I can grab something with a local flavor as a souvenir. What do you think, traveler? See anything that suits my style? I trust your judgment.
Ah, you're interested in souvenirs. If you're struggling to decide, you might want to consider getting some jade. You can't go wrong with a nice jade pendant. They're an elegant addition to your... If you're looking for a specific design, we can make it to your specifications. It does take some time to fulfill an order, however. High-quality jade is hard to come by, so our waiting list is at least a couple of weeks.
Oh, that's a pity. I'm just visiting and I won't be in town for very long. So as much as it pains me to do so, I'm afraid I'll have to leave this beautiful bijou behind.
No worries at all, sir. If you're looking for something off the shelf, why not go and see Mr. Shurto at the Jade Mystery? He also deals in jade and precious... Exactly. But on that note, let me give you a word of advice. There's no risk in purchasing a piece of jade that's already been cut. But you could lose all of your mora betting on uncut rocks. I won't say any more, as I don't want my fellow vendors to think I'm bad-mouthing them. But I think you catch my drift. It's only human nature to spend a little when you're on a trip. But don't... The Ministry of Civil Affairs takes everyone's economic well-being very seriously, and they often send out the millilith.
I think that's sound advice wherever you go into that. Behold!
Yeah! Skyward!
Welcome! Looking for uncut stones or pre-cut jade? We've got plenty of both for your viewing pleasure.
Uncut stones. Ah yes, we were just briefed on that. Let's take a look at the pre-cut...
I believe I detect a quiet but distinct tone of apprehension in your words. Feel free to peruse at your leisure. I think you'll find that everything I do here is entirely above board and legitimate, and I sell only pure and unadulterated goods. Sure, you can bet on jade and lose if you're unlucky, but that doesn't make it a scam. My terms are clear and transparent, and I only do business with willing customers.
Sounds perfectly reasonable. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much the vendor is charging.
Yes, exactly. I'm glad you understand. Although your peculiar phrasing at the end there, you almost make it sound as if I really am scamming people. Anyway, betting on jade is what it is. Feel free to try your luck, but if you can't afford to lose, then it's not for you. We don't need to cause each other any trouble. I'll leave you to browse at your own pace now while I deal with other potential customers.
Amber-colored jade would probably make for a good souvenir. Why not? This is a quirky little place. Well, if you're not interested, then I guess we'll pass.
Ahoy there, Captain! Fancy.
What, a poor sailor like me? You must be joking. I barely managed to make ends meet.
Hey! Keep your voice down. Can't you see I've got customers?
I mean, you want the full list? Or... Captain Kaeya, what, brings you to Liyue?
Oh, just taking a short trip with my friend.
Yes, it's been a good while.
Anywhere you'd recommend I visit while I'm here?
Let me think. Wanmin Restaurant's always a pretty good bet. Chef Mao's daughter is a skilled chef, and their prices are very reasonable. My wife can't get enough of their boiled fish. You could give that a try. And, speaking of my wife, she won't let me forget what a great help you've been to us before. So
Your wife? Ah, yes. How is she doing these days? Keeping well?
Very well, thank you. Very well. Anyway, I've got something I need to do down at the South Wharf, so
All right. See you. Ah, I finally remembered who that was.
I see. So you went through that whole conversation with no idea who you were talking to. Old Wu's usually quite the chatterbox, so it's very unusual for him to just...
An educated guess. It's pretty straightforward, honestly. The captain was making a delivery to Mondstadt when his ship sprang a leak.
Well, it still seems strange to me. Sure, he's hardly the most charming conversationalist, and he's also mighty stubborn, but all of us know Old Wu is an honest and kind-hearted man. His eldest was once playing on that big rock over there when he took a tumble and injured himself. I'm just surprised he was so quick to excuse himself, that's all. Normally, he's the kind of guy who, if you run into him on the street and he owes you a favor, he'll grab you by the hand and thank you profusely until you ask him to stop.
Well, stubborn, I can believe. Someone had drilled a gaping hole in his ship, and the water was coming in fast. How he...
Someone drilled a hole in his ship? Oh dear. It must have been one of the less savory captains out there trying to sabotage his business so they can squeeze their way into the market. When competition is stiff, sometimes things get ugly. It's the way of the world, unfortunately. His line of work isn't easy. The poor fellow usually has to set sail before the break of dawn. He's been loitering around a lot these past few weeks, though. I thought maybe he'd come into some Mora. Competition is fierce these days, and there's not a lot of Mora to be made in shipping. So every day he stays idle is another negative in the books. I do want... Anyway, I digress. We merchants protect our goods like our own lives, so...
I am an upstanding member of the Knights of Favonius after...
Since you asked about recommendations earlier, you're here from Mondstadt, yes? If memory serves, they're just about to retell the tale of Bravebeard, the...
Huh. Sounds interesting enough.
Yeah! Skyward! Squall and Fury!
Join the Adventurers Guild.
So this is the Hu Tea House.
we meet again. What a coincidence. twice in one day. Oh, that didn't take me long.
Wu, weren't you just at Wanwen Bookhouse
Shh, just leave it be, Aunt Jong. There's no need to embarrass him right in front of everyone else. I take it that you two aren't from around these parts. I'm a caravan guard by trade, and meeting people from all over the world is one of the main perks of the job for me.
Oh, seems like the tea house is the place to be in Liyue. Did you manage to get something for your daughter just now, Cap?
Yes, thank you. If it weren't for you, Captain Kaeya.
I'm so lost, Wu. What's...
Your wife's originally from Mondstadt, isn't she? Did you run into Captain Kaeya when you were there on business?
The latter. Oh, this is so humiliating. Anyway, back when my wife was pregnant, we were taking a trip to Mondstadt to visit her parents this...
Oh, that sounds awful.
I mean, he's still here, and he's still got all his limbs, so they can't have roughed him up too bad.
Yes, he did. Thankfully, he heard my wife crying for help and drove them away. My wife was injured and quite shaken up by the ordeal. So he took her to the winery.
So what happened to you?
I was in the water.
Huh? What did you jump in the water for?
No, that's not... They threw me into the water.
They did what? Did they have a weird fetish or something? Stripping a sailor naked and throwing him into the water?
The treasure hoarders always move in groups, and fighting back when you're outnumbered isn't usually an option. It's no surprise that they quick...
Captain Kaeya, please, there's no need for you to try to save face for me like this. Yet, despite that, I somehow only ended up humiliating myself further. They tossed me into the water to humiliate me, and to use it as leverage to get my wife to pay up. What I'd intended was to pretend to drown, then sneak back onto shore while they weren't looking. That was before Captain Kaeya appeared out of nowhere and saved the day. But God knows what they did with my clothes. I couldn't find them anywhere. By the time...
Outrageous!
So,
I made it to the winery, but the maids noticed me first. And they called the Lord. After my wife recovered consciousness, she had to have a long talk with the young lord to explain everything.
Ugh, good luck living that one down.
Trust me, I know.
I'm sorry, Captain. I wasn't intending to share that story.
It's fine. It's my own fault for thinking I could sweep it under the carpet and forget about it. I don't know if I can ever repay you for... Still, it won't stop me from trying. You and your friend are here to catch the storyteller. In fact, they do serve some food here, too, but it's...
I wonder how much Fanaria caught of that.
Oh, poor Wu.
He really didn't have to share all the details of that story. I did actually forget at first. But once he brought up his daughter, the memory of his name... D-Luke thought some pervert was harassing the maids. He charged straight out the door, great sword in hand and raring to go. I haven't seen him so angry in a long time. So many people owe me favors nowadays. It's hard to keep track of them all. Hey, you didn't think I was being serious, did you? Do I really strike you as the kind of person... I just helped the guy out on a couple of occasions because I happened to be in the right place at the right time.
I'm back with fruit. Please, help yourselves.
Thank you.
Oh, don't mention it. It's just a few fruits. Once my new pharmaceutical business takes off and I have more to spare...
Pharmaceutical business? So you found a new career?
Shipping's impossible work nowadays. There's too much competition. I'm going to become a partner of Boo Boo Pharmacy and provide funding for a brand... It's specially formulated to treat seasonal joint and limb pain. If you didn't know, it's a very common health complaint among... I've suffered from it myself, which is why I know that a lot of people stand to benefit from this once it enters the market. It's a good cause, and a stable source of income. Whichever way you look at it, it's a step...
That's impressive, Wu. I wouldn't have thought you had the connections for something like that.
Oh no, not Dr. Baiju. Actually, it was his master, Dr. Baifudze. His medical expertise and clinical experience are second to none. And he really cares about his patients. He gave me a few of his traditionally formulated bone-strengthening pills when he saw me suffering from my leg pains one day.
Dr. Baiju's master.
Yeah, I told him I'd be enthusiastically recommending his medicine to the other guys at the docks. And after some hesitation, he said that he shouldn't really be handing out free prescriptions since, and I quote, "It goes against generations of tradition handed down by our forebears."
But I got chatting with Dr. Baiju recently when the Secure Transport Agency did a delivery for Boo Boo Pharmacy.
Huh? Why would he say something like that? I mean, the guy's old, but he's still in great health.
Captain Wu, where did you meet this old master?
Just out on the street? I know that sounds dubious, but...
Hold on a second. I just remembered something. My nephew-in-law, he spent a lot of mora on it, but when he brought it to Boo Boo Pharmacy, Herbalist Gui took one look and told him he'd bought nothing but regular painkillers. This Bai Fuzi you met, did he by any chance have a goatee and salt and pepper hair?
He did.
If I may, Captain Wu, there's a lot of mora involved here. It seems like it would be worth asking this Dr. Baiju about his master.
You're right, Captain Kaeya. A quick trip to Boo Boo Pharmacy, and I can get Dr. Baiju to clear all of...
He left in a hurry. He must be stressed out of his mind right now.
Hey, let him deal with this, okay? No point in you stressing yourself out, too. I'm no Dark Knight hero, or martial arts hero for that. Wait, where are you? Now that I think about it, I can see you having a secret double life as a martial arts hero here in Liyue. Either way, Liyue has its own rules and regulations. Best to let the Ministry of Civil Affairs deal with this in the proper manner. We came here to enjoy ourselves, remember? We don't want to get our priorities mixed up.
It is said that the sky's the limit for the aspirational soul. But alas, for the woes of the world are equally yet fate fortuitous found him when he entered the tutelage of an adeptus and learned many mystical arts from them. Per his master...
Is that all? Huh. I was hoping to hear the rest of the story. It was all right. I suppose the hero always has to sacrifice himself to save others, and it does make for some good storytelling.
Oh, I see the show is over. Yeah, I saw Dr. Baiju.
Then what are you waiting for? Don't just stand there. You need to report this to the
Hold on. Let's not lose our cool. Get your story straight first, so you can give them a clear and detailed account of events in the...
Well, I'd arranged to meet him at the Yunshang Tea House once I've withdrawn the next sum of mora.
Okay, so you've got another meeting lined up.
I've got no one to blame but myself for this. I can't... Young lady, you're a good person, and I'm touched by your words of comfort. The consequences are mine alone to bear. At my age, I'm sure I should be comfortable.
It's obvious, isn't it? He needs to report the case to the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Come with me. I am quite curious. How does our chivalrous martial arts hero intend to come to Captain? There are countless victims of injustice in the world. We can't try to help each and every one of them. Oh, I'm surprised. I'm genuinely flattered. But we both know that I'm not that kind of person, really. Your logic is very straightforward, but I like how you think. So I'll indulge your martial arts hero aspiration. Captain Wu, how would you feel about owing me...
I'm sorry, Captain Kaeya?
Let's say, hypothetically speaking, I found a way to recover your mora that would leave the man who defrauded you feeling angry and frustrated, if it could be done, and the only cost was owing me yet another favor.
What exactly are you getting at?
The traveler here is adamant that you should ask me for another favor. Personally, I blame the storyteller.
Captain Kaeya, young lady, thank you. I will humbly accept your kindness.
All right. Now here's what I'm thinking. All right, then it's settled. Per our brave hero's plan, let's rendezvous at Yanshang Tea House tomorrow. I didn't know you were such a slacker. The wind rises.
My legs are getting sore. What is wrong with this assessment officer? This is a huge occasion. I've dealt with all kinds of people in my... That's called being
Oh, come on. All right, you two. Qianwei, that was a bit uncalled for. Look, how about this? There's no rule saying we're...
Fine. They're not the best...
It looks like all 3 candidates have arrived. We'll meet them formally soon. I've split it into 2 stages. Current affairs and planning, and face-to-face interview. In the first stage, candidates are required to submit a manifesto for Liyue's development. In the second stage, we will ask them some questions in person. Writing a manifesto takes time, so I informed them of this requirement in advance. These are the reports they submitted.
Wow, one of them is really thick.
It's also worth mentioning a stipulation I gave them. Whoever is appointed as the new Tianshu will be expected to implement their plan as put forward in their manifesto. Failing the occurrence of some cataclysmic event, they will not be permitted to change their plan. There's still some time. Have a skim through, get a first... I'll be waiting off to the side. Just... Finished, huh? What did you think?
Everyone took it.
Of course they did. And keep in mind, whoever gets in has to That's for me to... We'll see the candidates now. Let's...
Yes, ma'am.
Oh? So you two are the... I had assumed that given the great import... I trust you've read through my manifesto?
Mind your tone.
Relax. It wasn't a cloud retainer. With your sterling reputation, you must have a respectable level of
Oh, is it my turn?
Yes. Please, introduce...
I'm, Ming. I've worked there for, 9 years. I have 12 active cases at the moment. My current work is related to urban planning.
Is it just
You know what? Let's leave the self...
Oh! Hello. What would you like to know? You're here to
Your manifesto is very wide in its scope, but you don't seem to be personally involved in many of the specific fields.
Very fair question. I completely understand, but I'm confident in my plan. Of course, 2 different problems can be interconnected.
How do you plan to determine whether you are right?
A great question. Well, if it turned out that my judgment was to blame for poor...
Nice answer.
like a great guy. Everything he
Here's my take on what we just learned. As you saw, Qianwei is highly knowledgeable, but he is very proud and incredibly... Mingguo's plan is more thorough and more measured. But he and Qianwei are otherwise polar opposites. Mingguo is not very articulate.
Perfect summary.
Last but not least, Yi. His manifesto is full of the depth he goes into in each and every area means it can only be a product of painstaking. But what really interests me is...
Great!
We'll see. All right, then let me ask this.
Those three candidates have all... But Qianwei went on to focus...
Whoa! So how did you get to...
Qianwei was referred to me by it. We first met while Jury came from a poor family. He reminded me of a younger version of myself. So I started out giving him a few words of advice when we were out quite. And now, all of a sudden, the young are growing up.
I don't know, Uncle Tian.
Oh, you. There's really no...
Sounds like you sure love fish.
Ooh, there's nothing quite like fishing.
Fresh fish soup.
Doesn't it? When we've been fishing recently, that flavor makes for a fond memory.
Ooh, can Paimon come next time too?
Let's get back to the matter at hand.
I appointed... Had you not asked me why Jury's ideas were so set, this decision must be guided by what is... Remember.
Understood. Come on, let's...
Bye-bye, Uncle Tian. So, it's gonna be Jerry, right? His manifesto was written...
Easy.
Huh?
No, nothing like that. The biggest no-no in intelligence work is to only... For example...
Yes?
Lady Yelan, what are your...
Who are they?
Did they scare you? As my trusted assistants, they are always standing guard nearby. Shanghua is a business expert.
That meathead must have been out there on sea surveillance for...
Nothing can take that guy down.
Shanghua, visit all the commerce guilds and look into Qianwei's background. When you...
Yes, ma'am.
So what about Jerry?
Yi. Well, obviously as the most... Let's go to the docks first. What?
If we're looking for information, he does business at the North Wharf.
That's actually...
Ah, you're here. Good, you've got nothing to worry about. As long as this lucky coin's in my hands, it'll do as it's told. Before I toss the coin, I'll get our guy to bet heads or tails. Then it's your turn to bet. Now remember, if I touch my chin, you bet heads. If I touch my forehead, you go for tails.
So, are you waiting for someone? As long as you follow the rules.
From the way you describe it, Liyue does sound like an attractive place to settle. Perhaps I might have to make the move here after all. All that awaits me back in Mondstadt is a horde of insufferable sycophants. Truly tedious.
I understand. For one as ambitious as yourself, Mr.
What are you doing? It's common courtesy to introduce yourself. Can't you see we got here first? They're running out of tables, huh? Looks like this location's getting too small for them.
So, my friend, what's your name?
Here is the tea that you ordered. Please enjoy.
Ugh, this tea is... never mind. Mr. Bai, this has been a most pleasant and insightful conversation. I consider it good fortune that I encountered such a refined gentleman as yourself so far from home. Please allow me to pay for the tea.
Yes, good fortune indeed. In that case, I must thank you for your generosity.
You there. I'll get yours too. Oh, you can't tell? My family's lived in Mondstadt for generations. I got bored sitting around at home and decided to set off on a journey to expand my horizons. The sights of Liyue Harbor are rather spectacular. I've half a mind to buy a that would be quite nice. If the family would spare me a little loose change, and the point of life is to enjoy yourself. If something makes me happy, it's worth every...
Mr. Rich, just to clarify, that's quite a large sum of Mora.
The name's Albert. Surname Rich. But only the servants in the house address me as Mr. Rich. Now that we're so well acquainted, Mr. Bai, please just call me Albert.
Albert does have a nice ring to it.
You flatter me. What say you to acting as my guide during my time in Liyue? I'll pay you handsomely, of course.
No need, my good friend. I shan't be so vulgar as to take your more. To join a noble gentleman on his travels is a rare opportunity. Please.
You there. You're welcome to join us if you want. Guhua, huh? Strange choice of name. Gotta say, I've been in Liyue.
Yes, well, there are many martial arts clans and factions in Liyue. It's only natural that you haven't...
Ha, fair enough. Still, weird name. Seriously, though, what kind of skills do you guys train anyway? It's all for show, right? I already told the server to put it on my tab. Don't bother getting her to split the bill. It'll only complicate things.
Young lady, there's no need to take things so seriously. Why don't you loosen up and enjoy the free...
Are you trying to make a point by throwing my generosity?
Please, my friends, let's not get so worked up. Yinchang Tea House is no You young people have hot tempers.
Did I hear that right? So you'll only pay for yourself if you win, but I'll get the check for the three of us if you lose. No, what I find truly absurd is your refusal to play fair. Fine. You can have your apology if you win.
Well, as long as you're no longer raring to fight.
Why do you join us, Mr. Bai? Let's entertain this gal for
but I wasn't...
What are you trying to say, Mr. Bai? Whose side are you on here?
Of course, I'm...
And anyway, it's no big deal if you win. It's just a few cups of tea after all.
All right then. I suppose it's not all that different from the...
All right, now we're talking. Okay, now, well, that should be simple enough. Here, I'll take this coin and ask the counter to draw a line on one side.
Young lady, I can see that you haven't spent many years in the real. I, too, only met this Mondstadt millionaire by complete chance today. But in the real world, you've got to keep you young people up.
Just so we're clear, let's say the marked side is heads, and the unmarked side is tails. We should also take turns tossing the coin.
Sounds fair to me.
All right, then, I'll start a...
I suppose the choice is arbitrary.
Let me think. I'll also go with tails. What about you? Heads or tails?
Oh, darn, I won.
I won as well. Guess there might be a formal apology in the cards after all. I have a suggestion. If one of us loses twice in a row, I flipped the coin last time, so why don't you go—
Now just wait a second, my dear friends.
Oh? Anxious to take your turn, Mr. Bai?
You are both young, and I've already seen your short tempers for myself. If Albert loses this round and this young lady wins, you'll be tied. Well, that's not my only consideration either. You two may be too young to know. In dice games, people use all sorts of methods to rig the game. So if Albert wins the next round and you, young lady, lose for the second time, and if that happens only for you to then find out that the coin was rigged all along, you're sure to accuse me of working with Albert to scam you while mocking the Guhua clan. A purely hypothetical scenario, of course, but one that I'm bringing up.
Very diligent of you indeed, Mr. Bai. Looks like I chose the right person to be my guide.
A rigged coin will always be a little heavier than a normal coin, you see.
What's your bet this time, Mr. Bai?
I'll stick with tails.
Tails, huh? Well, you seem to have a...
Well, my luck's still just about holding out. The three of us are now tied, so no one...
Well, here you go.
It's a tough decision. You make a good point.
Okay, and now it's my turn to guess. Not that the outcome matters either way to me. I won't even notice the more's gone.
Why did it have to be heads?
Sure, why not? I'm having What a miserly person. Do as you please. The two—
But, Albert, all the fun of
Oh, come on now. No need to walk on eggshells.
Sure.
Well, here's the coin. Wouldn't it defeat the whole purpose of betting if you guessed the same as me?
All right. Ooh, looks like Rex Lapis has smiled upon me.
Look at you getting so giddy over some chump change. It's like you've never gambled with real money before.
Well, in that case, would you care?
Sure. Let's up the stakes a little this time. What, 50,000?
All right.
Great, then I'll bet heads. Heads.
Tails. Oh, how unfortunate. I shouldn't have... Albert, I'm terribly sorry, but as it happens, I forgot to bring my coin.
Advance payment? Sorry.
This day, just getting better and better. Well, so be...
Just 50,000? That's not what we agreed on.
Huh? What are you talking about?
No, it wasn't. The amount was 1 million.
1 million? Are you insane? Come on now, Albert. Be serious. $1 million?
I'm being perfectly serious. I know what I said, and what I said was 1 million mora.
You're lying through your teeth. Hey, young lady. Huh? What the? I'm not deaf, you know. Oh, I see. I never met either of you before today, and out of nowhere you suddenly... Huh? Do you have any idea who you're trying to cheat? Well, don't you try to celebrate just yet. Do you really think that nobody else... Frauds! Frauds, I say! These two...
How pathetic.
What is going on here? If you can't abide by our rules, you're not...
Wait, don't throw me out!
Well, let's take this somewhere else. Okay, you two. Care to explain yourselves?
Gladly. He's making up completely spurious claims. We were betting Mora over a few coin tosses, and now he wants to back out. In the land of contracts, of all places. He won 250,000 from me, then another 800,000 from the both of us. Now he's refusing to pay up the measly 50,000 that he lost in the
Okay, so after settling up, a total of 1 million Mora should have changed hands. Sounds plausible enough.
It's a complete pack of lies! Hostess, if you don't believe me, ask anyone else in the tea house.
Sorry to interrupt you all, but you're witnesses to the situation here.
Oh, thank goodness you're finally here. What took you so long? That old guy's been bragging about the Mora he's won so—
Leave me out of this.
Our new owner laid down the law not too long ago. Return any winnings to the party you took them from, and—
Why should I have to give them any more—
Oh, but I think you do. 2 investments, was it?
You...
Halberd! Fang!
Please don't.
This was never your Mora to begin with. What did you think, Captain Wu? Could you hear clearly from your corner on the...
Yes, everything. I can't thank you two enough.
Woo. This, along with that blonde one. And all... I know where you live, and I know what your wife looks like, and you...
Who'd be scared of a crook like you?
Well, let's see how long that false...
Oh, look at that. He figured it out.
Don't you two get cocky either.
My apologies for having to leave this question until you'd vacated the premises. But I couldn't have I noticed that all the guests on the second floor were present before you took your seats. Would I be correct in saying you were looking to set this man up?
Wait, so you saw through it right away?
Under normal circumstances, we would never tolerate a scheme like this taking place on our grounds. However, I understand that our owner holds the Traveler in high regard and must have good reasons for their actions.
Ah, as I thought. When you're operating on someone else's... Over to you, brave hero. You're the one with the connections in...
Okay. I understand the situation now. It goes without saying that I...
Well, Captain Wu, remember what I promised you? What do you think? Angry and frustrated?
Excuse me, coming through.
Yes, that's him all right.
Wait!
You can't talk your way out of this one. Does the plaintiff have any witnesses? If you got tangled up in this too, huh? In that case, please come with me. Don't worry, we won't take up too much of your time.
Hey, keep your hands off me.
Thank you so much, the both of you. I really don't know how I could ever begin to repay you.
Well, I have an idea. We originally came here to do some sightseeing. Anywhere you'd recommend we go before the end of our trip?
Let me think. Now, where would I want to go? Hey, are either of you interested in a fishing trip?
Sounds fun to me. Let's go.
Try your luck betting on Jade?
Yeah! Got
Yeah! Well, this was certainly an eventful end to my trip. It wouldn't have been possible without you. Or my lucky coin, of course. Wouldn't be much of a lucky coin if it had. You still need some practice to master the technique, but look, a better question to ask might be, what do I do to make this coin happy to work with me? And my answer would be that I tell the coin a joke every time I toss it into the air. If it finds my joke funny, then it cooperates with me. Of course, this whole arrangement hinges on a pre-existing amount of trust between the two of us. I can't just get any strange coins to listen to me. Yeah, I was a little surprised when he unwittingly called out our trick coin. A good gambler always keeps their options open. You have to have a contingency plan for when the odds are against you. So when I went to the counter, I marked a regular coin as well as my trick one. That safely avoided any risk of him finding out about the trick coin. But hey, what does it matter? The fact that he made things a little more challenging, especially listening to him warn us about the possibility of a rigged coin right as we were scamming him. As long as I chose the same bet as him, and you bet the opposite to me, it was always going to end up with him paying. Then things would have gotten really interesting.
You two are genuinely the smartest people I've ever met. Well, I may not be the smartest guy around. We were just ordinary acquaintances. If there's anything I can ever do for you in the future...
No? You seem agitated. Are you... There are two kinds of people who owe me favors. One is my friends. My informants have to fulfill whatever requests I make of them. No... and you're torn again. Too afraid to ask to be my friend, but also daunted by the dangers inherent. Well, it's okay, because I just thought of a fun and easy way to get... This is the regular coin I prepared for the contingency plan when I was borrowing a pen from the... If it's heads, we're friends. But if it's tails, you're at my beck and call. May the Lord of Geo decide.
So?
What do you think? What does your heart tell you?
I understand now. You have my most sincere gratitude. No, that's a little too formal. What I'm trying to say is... Here.
You're always so busy. It's high time you gave yourself a proper break. Even the sharpest blade loses its edge if it's always in use. Regular maintenance is essential for reliable performance. And anyway, life is short, so we should make the most of the time we have. Right now is the perfect time to relax and enjoy ourselves. Now I remember why you're an honorary knight. Of course, being tempted by money is beneath you. Your honest character is dazzling to behold. Like the sunlight reflecting off the surface of Cider Lake in the late fall. In that case, I guess today's end-of-trip blowout is cancelled. I shall pack my luggage and prepare to return to Mondstadt. Oh? You'd do that for me? Well, this wasn't what I'd originally planned, but it's a very welcome development. When I was souvenir shopping, I picked out something for you. Let's keep that a secret for now. It's just that I didn't think I want you to find out for yourself when you open it. Then it's settled. We'll leave together shortly.
Yeah! Scatter!
Look, Mondstadt's windmills. Now, as promised, your souvenir. According to the merchant I bought it from, mysterious spirits called Jinn often live in lamps like this. Merchants love to exaggerate to help make a sale. I know you like rare things, so perhaps you can add this to your collection. You're welcome. I'm glad you like it. I'm ready to head into the city now. I could give everyone their souvenirs first, but maybe I'll take a breather first. But I know I'll only get bored sitting in... I'm honored to have such a caring friend. Let's go to the plaza in front of the cathedral. After so long in Sumeru, there's no rush.
Time for takeoff.
Right now, I wish I was sitting at the top of a tree, looking out over a meadow, cider in hand.
Port Ormos is always lively, even late into the night. People there go to bed much later. Quite a stark contrast with Mondstadt. People pray and play music in the Good question. Life in Sumeru is never dull. Last time I was out drinking on the although I did learn later that that kind of thing is... They taught me a lot of songs that they usually sing during feasts. Simple, honest folks like me, we don't need much to be content. Fair enough. Let's shelve that discussion for now. Have you ever had a chance to hear the cathedral choir before? Well, let's see if we can catch them today. Sister Grace is right there, so we can ask her about the choir's schedule. Excuse me, Sister Grace. Does the church choir have any performances coming up?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh? What's...
As you probably know, Captain Kaeya.
Ah, yes. I heard about that.
Yes, exactly. Well, it turns out there are plenty of believers who are good singers and interested in joining a choir. So, in theory, it should have been a simple case of getting everyone in the same room, then practice, practice, practice. But, for some reason, the rehearsals are going terribly. I don't understand it. Oh, maybe I'm just not musically gifted enough. Captain Kaeya, I know—
Me? Music is far from my forte.
Thank you so much, Captain Kaeya. Having some expert guidance will definitely—
I'm sure you've figured out who this expert is already. He has the best singing voice of any poet in Mondstadt, and understands poetry better than any other singer. Plus, he's exceptionally easy to find. 9 out of 10 times, he's in the tavern. Good day. Drinking alone? I hope you don't mind us joining you.
Hello, hello! Please, take a seat. We're all friends here.
Patton, 1 moonlit alley and an apple cider.
Ooh, excellent choices. Come on, let's have a toast and drain our glasses together. Here's to the time spent drinking with friends, which is more unforgettable than the drinks are delectable.
Ever the poet, Professor Venti. A beautiful toast from the bard with the most. Any new songs of yours we could listen to? There's a real dearth of quality entertainment at the moment, since the cathedral's choir performance has been delayed again. Speaking of which, I trust you've heard Sister Grace's choir perform before?
Of course! Though the format is a little on the formal side, they do sing quite beautifully. Very pleasant to listen to.
So you'd say you enjoy listening to hymns?
Let me think. Well, however it's expressed, as long as you can hear the singer's passion and joy in their voice, I consider it a phenomenal performance.
Passion and joy, huh? An intriguing perspective. By this logic, I suppose Lord Barbados would also enjoy the choir's performances.
Oh? And why is that?
Think about it. It's only because of his patient guidance and protection that the people of Mondstadt can now sing such beautiful hymns in the cathedral. It must be quite satisfying for him to hear a joyful people lift up their voices in song.
Yes, well, that's a beautiful image filled with hope. But actually, maybe Barbados himself doesn't give it so much thought. In principle, the hymns of the cathedral are dedicated to a god. But in reality, the audience are all ordinary people with very worldly concerns. So what really matters is that the people enjoy what they're listening to.
If Sister Grace was able to see things that way, perhaps she wouldn't feel so distressed.
Huh? Distressed? Ugh, she might be asking a bit too much. To be honest, if they have a natural talent for music, they should just be allowed to sing whatever they want. It'll all sound good. I'm pretty sure the first people to sing songs to the Animo Archon weren't all singing the same tune. Besides, he is the god of freedom. Surely he'd prefer to hear Mondstadters sing their hearts out however comes naturally to them.
Well, to each their own, I say. But Sister Grace seems quite bothered by the whole thing.
More drinks?
Uh-oh. I only brought enough money for 1 bottle today. I'll have to pass.
Another bottle of apple cider for Venti, please, Patton.
Wow! Thanks, Kaeya. You are one of the finest students ever to emerge from my fast-track love poetry class. I always did admire your enthusiasm and kindness. With the aid of this bottle, a humble bard's woes are whisked away on the wind. And so it falls to this humble bard to...
Then this is probably the single most worthwhile alcohol purchase I've ever made. Sister Grace is a devout follower of the Animo Archon.
Don't worry. Just wait a moment. I'll go find her. Right after I finish this cider. The next time you visit her, our sweet sister shall be sad no more. Kaeya is a wily character, but free wine is always the most delicious. It's fine. I mean, the church's choral hymns aren't exactly my strong suit, what with all the finicky formalities and so on. But as long as there is love for music in the air, I'm sure I'll be able to help. Hey, if I'm happy and Sister Grace is happy and the audience is happy, that's a great thing, isn't it?
Swan Fury! Hello, Sister Grace.
Captain Kaeya.
Fanciful in the sense of not worth adopting? Is that what you mean? Everyone in the choir loves to sing, but they're used to singing their favorite songs. Suddenly asking them to sing in perfect harmony like a church choir with years of experience is just too difficult. So, why ask them to adjust to the demands of those staid old church hymns when you could just create a new song for them?
Church choirs typically stick to traditional hymns. This is certainly an innovative idea. What's stopping you from considering it, Sister Grace?
While I don't expect a recently established amateur choir...
Is the Church of Favonius really such a stickler? So, Venti, do you think the Animo Archon would like to hear a new melody?
Of course! This was the wish of the people when New Mondstadt was first founded.
Okay, well, let's see what our other friend thinks. Traveler, what are your thoughts? Another vote of confidence. Maybe there's hope for this idea yet.
Maybe it's just a generational thing, but...
Looks like we're all in favor then.
So of course. I'll tell them now.
Should we find some people to help us compose the lyrics? If this is to be a new song of the people, then the more fresh ideas we have, the better.
Good idea. Let's split up and find some contributors, Traveler. Let me think. Since we're composing a song, Sister Grace, how would you feel about us asking Sister Barbara?
Given that the idea is to write a song dedicated to Lord Barbados.
Perfect. Traveler, why don't you head into the cathedral and...
Got it! With this melody, it'll be much more expressive.
The wind rises. Quit following me.
Anything the knights can do for you?
Let the wind It's been a long time since I last saw you in the... Fortunately, I have some time to spare at the moment. Oh, I see! The hymns we know today have been passed down to us through the ages, but as long as we put our hearts into it, I never imagined that the bard would come up with such an amazing suggestion. Sure.
Behold! Ah, you're here.
You took your sweet time. Psh, I've seen Kaeya play Genius Invocation TCG, making up a bunch of baloney to distract his opponents. Can we really write about anything we want in this song? And is the choir really gonna perform it publicly? So
I can guarantee he won't.
Then I wanna write this! All Boo's hounds will be punished harshly by Lord Barbados!
That's a very novel idea indeed.
I'm used to just humming to myself while I work. So after Sister Grace criticized us for not singing in harmony, I was planning on quitting the choir. I never thought we'd be able to just sing what we wanted. Whew, what a relief.
Plus, we get to write a song with Sister Barbara. I'm so honored!
Thank you, everyone. Why don't we start by picking a theme for this song?
I agree. Traditionally speaking, the theme should be Praise be to the gentle and loving Lord Barbados.
I expect that Professor Venti might feel that topic is overdone and lacks originality, and that it may not be to Lord Barbados's liking.
That's Kaeya for you. Got it in one. I'd suggest that everyone start by thinking of the little things in life that bring you joy.
Ooh, well then can I praise the perfect fish head soup my mom cooked last night?
Of course you can.
I think I'd like to rejoice in the precious days spent together with family.
Let us praise Mondstadt, the city that allows us to sing freely.
See? Already we have lots of wonderful ideas. Let's write them down, and then Kaeya can... Kaeya?
What are you doing here? Didn't want to participate in the discussions? I just wanted to take you to hear a performance, but the rehearsals are now back on track. I'd rather it didn't come to that. My songwriting abilities are limited. If doing nothing but loitering on the plaza but that would get boring after a while. Besides, can you be so sure I didn't...
Oh! I spy 2 naughty students skipping class, and they just so happen to be the very 2 who asked me to help Sister Grace in the first place. We're ready to review and discuss everyone's lyric contributions now. Hey, why is it that you look like you're trying to run away?
I still recall the teachings of Professor Venti. The Animo Archon cares not about how moving the people's songs of praise are, but rather whether or not the song comes from the heart. With so many true believers gathered together earnestly writing a song for him, I'm sure the Animo Archon is watching on and feels very satisfied. That's what a song of worship is all about. So, mission accomplished.
And that's the reason you've decided to leave?
Slipping away before the final verse is sung, before the poet has uttered the last line, before everything has concluded. Oh no, you've seen right through me.
Wow, that was a craftily crafted speech. I almost fell for it. But to share all this with a group of friends, only to find myself one friend short before the final verse is sung, before the poet has uttered the last line, before everything has concluded, I don't know. Something about it just irritates me. If you don't want to write a poem, then let me gift you one. Abandoned to whatever fortune the cruel waters bring, bereft of control, directionless I swing. The swift currents surge, and onward I urge, through the snow and frost that fall and winter bring. Majestic waves cresting, surf roaring its tail, none but the ocean to hear as I sing. The stars in my eyes as I chart toward the horizon, that into one day from the endless dome of night I shall spring. If you are a chaser of freedom, the animal Archon will bless you. So why not let those feelings out and sing with everyone?
A boat that has come unmoored will not get lost in the night, but sail towards the dawn. A beautiful image.
Of course, you don't have to believe in it, but the winds of Mondstadt will guide every lost ship back to safe harbor.
Well, after a fine poem like that,
Let's head back together. You two of all people have to be there for the grand finale.
Squall and Fury.
look, Mondstadt's windmills. Now, according to the merchants I know you like rare things, so you're welcome. I'm ready to head into... I could give everyone... Maybe I'll take a breather first. But I know I'll only get bored sitting in... Yes, I suppose. Let's start by going... Albedo, eh? Hey, you two busy?
You must have had a tough journey, Kaeya.
Yes, welcome back, Kaeya. I understand. Back to matters at hand, Kaeya. A few days ago, we received a letter from the representative of the...
Just doing my duty. Anything to reduce the acting Grandmaster's workload.
Given the suddenness of the situation and the difficulty in resolve, but I didn't think there would be this much left over.
Just doing the right thing. But I'm not...
Souvenirs from Sumeru?
Here, the letter opener is for Jean. The jeweled brooch is for Lisa.
The artistry of this is exquisite. I love the color of the gem in this brooch. And the setting is so elegant.
It wasn't too bad.
Might I intrude a moment?
Albedo, is that you?
I finished the latest quarterly expenses report for the workshop. It's ready for your review. Traveler, greetings. And Kaeya, welcome back from Sumeru. Haven't seen you in a while. You two look like you're in good spirits.
As a matter of fact, the honorary knight and I traveled back from Sumeru together.
You're too kind. Klee has been constantly inquiring as to the timing of your return lately.
Since you weren't around, she thought you had also been grounded.
Children always have the most peculiar way of looking at things.
Also been grounded? Sounds like things haven't been too dull for you all in my absence.
It's Klee's third time this month.
Evidently, you're not the least bit surprised.
No. On the contrary, what would be a surprise is if Klee...
Anyway, since my souvenir is part of a set with Klee's, there's no rush to give it to me. When Klee's next... released, I'll bring her to see you sometime.
Sure, makes sense.
I'll leave these documents here.
Kaeya, I've approved your vacation request. You too, Honorary Knight. There isn't any work the Knights of Favonius require.
Thank you. Then
enjoy your vacation. But don't forget to return the Fox and the Dandelion Sea series before.
Don't worry, I'm nearly done with those. I'll be able to return.
Kaeya is just as though there's always something to do.
I'm surprised Klee still hasn't escaped. Kids will always have their moments of mischief. Well, now that all the gifts for the Knights of Favonius are with Jean, ooh, how about we visit the Dawn Winery? Diluc should be there tomorrow since he has business to deal with. But then there's nothing scheduled for the day after tomorrow. What do you think? When should we go? That works. Then I guess we'll see Diluc. The wind rises.
Yeah! Skyward! Scatter!
Squall Fury!
Yeah! Skyward! Scatter!
You made it. Come on. Brace yourself for some sour grapes.
If you're not feeling well, then let me go this time.
Oh, I'm fine. It's not serious.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hope I'm not interrupting anything important.
What are you doing here today? And I see you've brought a +1.
Oh, it's nothing particularly pressing. It's just that we recently returned from Sumeru and...
Is that it? Make yourselves comfortable then.
Oh, do you really mean that? Because my definition of comfortable happens to involve prodigious amounts of your finest wines.
Sounds like you're in a hurry to reach your goal.
Plotting a raid? Why, you misunderstand me. My informants tell me that last month, the Dawn Winery spent a large sum of mora. Of course, a teetotaler like yourself would struggle to tell the difference. Oh, wait. But the sterling reputation of Dawn Winery is at stake.
Quite the story. You used that one last year. Got anything else?
What? Really? I totally forgot. In that case, how about the principle of reciprocity? Here, this is for you. I bought it for you in Sumeru.
Thanks. Put it on the table.
That's it? No comment whatsoever?
You want a comment? Okay then. This thing is very in line with your unique aesthetic tastes. Elzer, fetch a bottle of this year's newest batch from the warehouse.
One moment, Master Kaeya.
What's wrong, Elzer?
My throat is a bit raspy is all. It got better after I began taking medicine. But recently...
Many illnesses are caused by overwork. Surely you should have long since handed over the work of the winery to Diluc by now.
Actually, most of the time he...
Take some time off, Elzer. It's important to take care of your health. You have to take it seriously.
Master Diluc, Master Kaeya...
Enjoy your vacation. Though, before you... There's nothing quite like enjoying a quality wine while feeling the gentle
Normally I'd accompany you, but unfortunately I still have some
Really?
Yeah! Skyward!
I asked Connor to select a bottle of our best. He'll bring it by shortly.
You asked Connor?
He hasn't seen you in a while. He's just happy to be able to do...
Considerate as ever.
Such artistry.
Glad you like it. Go on.
Very well, Master Kaeya.
Elzer is a good guy, and he's very responsible.
Master Kaeya, your wine and an apt traveler, this one's for you.
Oh, very clear. And
isn't it? This one's a little on the...
No need. Sweet is just fine.
Don't mind if I do. We used to always pour the first glass for you when cracking open a new barrel.
Well, since it wasn't me harvesting the grapes, de-stemming, or crushing them, it's much more fitting that you should.
It's an important step in the winemaking process. After harvesting the grapes, the stems have to be removed prior to fermentation, or they'll affect the quality. If you'd like, Traveler, you can help us harvest some grapes. Winemaking can be...
It isn't nearly as exciting as he makes it sound. Your back will be in so much...
Master Kaeya is right. Harvesting grapes is a back-breaking labor. But seeing the grapes turn into grape juice, then ferment into wine, is a fascinating experience.
Wait, so Diluc actually helps you with the winemaking?
Oh, goodness no. Master Diluc is far too busy, not just during the day.
Oh? And just what is Diluc always so...
Well, you know, come nightfall, he's always out there,
Connor, you're an awful liar.
Oh, so Master Kaeya, how do you like your drink? I remember you weren't...
That was because the adults said children weren't allowed even a drop. Don't you...
Ah, yes, of course. Adeland even covered...
But on a serious note, having grown up at a winery, I spent my childhood watching Tunner plant the grape seeds, waiting for them to ripen on the vine, harvesting them together, and waiting for the alcohol to ferment. Even though I couldn't help with making distilled spirits, how could anyone not love to drink with a childhood like that? So, let us raise a glass to wine itself, and in thanks to the gracious hospitality the winery has
Here, here, to Dawn Winery.
Speaking of wine, Connor, I have a gift for you. It's a decanter set from Sumeru.
I get a present too? Thank you, Master Kaeya. Time really does fly. I still remember the days when everyone was giving you... Now I have wrinkles and Tunner's bent double, while Master Kaeya is the cavalry captain of the Knights of Favonius.
How is Tunner holding up?
He's still tough, but getting on in years, so some things just aren't as easy as they were. But he's used... A lot of the temporary workers I hired quit because they couldn't handle how picky he was. Master Kaeya, if you have time, why not go talk to him about it?
I definitely owe him a visit. I haven't seen him in some time.
Yeah!
Busy day today, Tunner?
Oh, Master Kaeya, you're back. No, I'm not at... They're growing wonderfully this year. A few rows are almost ripe. We've all... Sit. After we're done picking, I'll bring a few bunches over for you to try.
No need. We were just drinking with Connor, and our stomach...
What about your friend? Doesn't she want to try?
Allow me to introduce the honorary knight of the Knights of Favonius.
Ah, the honorary knight.
Harvesting grapes is hard. Do you still remember how I used to help out when we were...
I believe I do. What's this? Everyone's clamoring to do manual labor? Come with me, young lass. I'll tell you which grapes are ripe enough, and you can pick them. Ooh, you have nimble hands, lassie. Master Kaeya wasn't nearly so careful when he was young. He mangled so many his first time. What a waste. Fortunately, the young master has a good head on his shoulders. Didn't take long for him to get up to speed. And now he's turned into such an outstanding young man, polite and kind. If I had a son as exceptional as Kaeya, oh, I would be the happiest man in Mondstadt. There's a few more rows of grapes up ahead. Let's finish picking them together. Careful not to damage the grapes when you pinch the stem.